everybody. Welcome
What's
to the
up?
Wrestling Through the Years podcast.
Hi.
I'm Dizzle, and I'm here with Dutchie.
Yo.
And we're here with E-Money, Money E, E-Nasty, E-D, whatever you want to call him. Eric's here, baby.
What's up?
We're here for the New Year's, the Wrestling Through the Years podcast. We got a lot of big shit coming up. I'm excited to be with you idiots. I'm excited to talk about what we're going to talk about today. We have a special episode. But first, we got, sorry, Julie Chen for stealing her shit, but we're going to do things a little different this year. Now, if you're a fan of us, but you want us to talk more current shit, and you're like, Worker of the Week's only 5 minutes, what the fuck are you guys doing? We do have plans in the new year to start going live after some of the big shows and doing some more current talk. And it's mostly going to be me and Eric because Dougie has a bedtime, but we are going to be planning on doing that in the future. Next week, tune in for us on Tuesday because we'll be coming in Tuesday for a Raw review of the big episode. Also, if you want to see if you want to hang out while the episode's going on, Eric's going to be going live Monday at 8 o'clock during the show. So join us for both of those and get some really good current Raw talk. I plan on doing this for AEW and stuff as well. Not every week or every episode, but when we feel like it. So we're going to be doing that in the future.
Looking forward to it.
Today, before I say our show topic, we do have a set of Worker of the Week now at the start of the episode. We're going to do predictions. And basically, we're going to predict all the matches that are announced for this week. So everything that's about to happen on SmackDown that's announced, everything on Collision, there isn't really much for Dynamite yet, and everything for Raw, obviously.
Yep.
So we'll do that now.
Okay. I mean, I've already said that I think Tiffany Stratton's cashing in Money in the Bank tonight.
Ooh.
And, earlier on, you and I kind of had the debate, Daniel, about, because you think it's Naomi's turning heel and she's winning the title.
Yeah. Thanks for blowing that one.
Well, I had to spoil it so I could make
I know
point.
you had a hot take, Dan. I'm going to give it in the most coldest way real quick.
Yeah, so I can debunk it real quick.
Okay.
Or not debunk it, but I think Naomi wins the match tonight, but I think Stratton cashes in on her. And then I think afterwards, when Bianca comes out to help Naomi, that's when Bianca clocks her and admits that she's the one that attacked Jade.
You think Bianca did it?
Yeah, I do too.
No, I think Naomi did it, but I think that when Bianca comes out to console Naomi, Naomi hits her.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah, so you're piggybacking off my idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I think we got Nia Jax and Naomi for the world title tonight. I think Naomi finally wins the title, and then it gets revealed that she's the one that took Jade out. That was my hot take. That's what I think's going to happen. Yes, Tiffy might be involved. She could definitely cash in. That could happen. But to me, I feel like tonight we're going to get a Naomi heel turn. I really do. And I think it's going to be revealed because it's too convenient that she's teaming with Bianca now and she's the tag champion now. And she's the one that got put in that match. Or no, she was already in the match at War Games. But I don't know. I think there was something nefarious, and I think Naomi is going to turn out to be the one that. But I have Naomi tonight. Who do you have, Eric?
I have Naomi.
So we all think the title's going to change hands.
Yeah, I just think it's going to somebody different than what you guys think.
Well, no, you technically think Naomi's going to win too if
Yeah, but I think that Stratton's going to.
cash in after.
Or even Jade could come back tonight.
Naomi.
Afterwards, drop Naomi, and then that's when.
Tiffany.
Yeah. I mean, it would make no sense for Jade to drop her right away.
No, it wouldn't. All right. Andrade and Shinsuke Nakamura. Non-title
Andrade.
match. I think I get building him up, but I think Nakamura's going to win.
Yeah, because I don't think they're done with Nakamura and LA Knight yet.
Yeah. So you agree with me?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be Nakamura. Do you want me to update the people yet on the poll that we got going on in the Facebook groups for a future episode, or do you want me to wait till later?
I mean, we're in the middle of a segment.
Okay.
Oh.
But go ahead.
So in a few weeks, we're going to bring back the career retrospective, but it's not going to be the top 10 moments and matches.
Okay.
So we got a poll right now in the Wrestling Through the Years Facebook group and in the Wrestling 70s, 80s, and 90s of 4. And it's just which wrestler do you like the best, which is my way of masking, which one do you want us to do? But we usually don't get a lot of help in Wrestling Through the Years, so I have to mask the.
Yeah.
So your options are Sid Vicious, Bret Hart, Jake the Snake Roberts, and Vader. And by the way, Jake Roberts is, especially in the Wrestling Through the Years one, Jake Roberts is kind of running away with it.
Well, I love Jake Roberts, so that's cool with me.
Yeah. So
that's awesome. That's fine with me.
So whoever wins, Eric, we'll make sure that we give you enough. We give you enough research to do, so you're able to talk, and we'll do the same thing for the other idiot if you decide to do the show that week.
Okay.
All right. Collision. Deonna Purrazzo and Toni Storm they've been feuding a little bit. She did something with Taya. We just watched it a couple weeks ago on Dynamite. Now we got Deonna and Toni. What do we think, guys? I think Toni Storm picks up another one.
I think it's going to be Toni, but I could see them kind of making this go a little further and Deonna possibly like stealing a win.
Well, you can only pick one.
All right, so then I'm just going to pick Toni.
I think Toni. I think they keep the momentum because they need to keep her hot.
All right. Private Party versus Action Andretti and Lio Rush.
Titles are on the line?
Yep.
Titles are on the line.
Private Party.
Private Party.
Yeah, I like Lio and Andretti, but I think Private Party.
It's too soon.
I would agree. All right. We got Garcia and Briscoe. TNT Championship. Mark and Daniel. I think Daniel Garcia probably takes this. He seems to be kind of a star on Collision lately. They kind of really are building that show around him. So, I think that, and I love Mark Briscoe, and I would love to see him win, but I think they probably continue the Daniel Garcia title run.
I think so, too. I mean, I personally prefer Mark Briscoe over that idiot, but
he's a hometown hero.
Well, he's a boob. He's the J.P. Lossman of professional wrestling. If you don't know who J.P. Lossman is, he was a Buffalo quarterback that was a bust.
Yep. Yeah, it makes sense that they're building around the TNT champion on TNT. They should have done that from the beginning.
I'm proud of you for picking that up.
Yeah.
That should have been always the case. That's why they called it the TNT champion.
I agree. I hate that belt's named that anyway.
Yeah.
Me too.
Like naming your title after the network you're on is so fucking corny, man.
Even the TBS, I wish Monet would change that title to like Monet Money or something.
Yeah. I don't know. There's got to be something else, And that's why, but then it makes the TNT, especially now that you have all these other belts that look cooler. Like the Continental belt looks infinitely cooler than the TNT Championship. Yep. And so what is the secondary title? Because there's 3 of them. Because you got the Continental, the International, and the MAD, right?
Yeah.
There's another men's one. That's it, right? So
Continental, International, and TNT, and then obviously the world title.
Yeah.
I would say.
So I don't know which one holds importance over the other, but I do like. I like them building into new stars, and I like them trying something and trying to like build a foundation around a guy. I wouldn't have picked Daniel Garcia to do it around, but they have, and they've. I think that they've had success in doing it, and I think that it is working out, and he's getting better and better.
Yeah.
he's going to need to do a little more than just fucking dance with his dick. But he does have potential, and I can see what they see in him. And, yeah. All right.
He needs to get better on the mic.
Yes. Because MJF gave him a hell of a rub. You work with him, you start to look good. All right. We have our main event. I would assume it's the main event. We have, the return of two guys that have had a lot of good matches in their lives going against each other. We have the Learning Tree led by Chris Jericho with Big Bill and the other guy.
Brian Keith.
Him. Against Cope. Big Cope. Rated R. Who the fuck's Adam Copeland? Never met him. I know Cope. And FTR. Rated FTR.
I got rated R FTR.
I saw a meme yesterday, and it says it's fitting that they named Edge Cope because that's what the fan base has to do when they watch the product. Is Cope.
That's funny.
They should name him Cope Kane.
Well, I mean, that would be. I think that'd be ripping off those indies that keep doing the different Canes, though.
No, I mean Cope Kane is in a different word of saying cocaine, which is something else you should be doing while watching the show.
Yeah, I understood where you were getting at.
You're just trying to ignore it.
I think rated R FTR is going to win. I mean, rated FTR is going to win.
Yeah,
I think they're going to eventually win the trios title.
I mean, I give Chris Jericho a lot of credit. I mean, to be honest with you, it's a gutsy move for Jericho to go without a bra.
I feel bad for Chris. People really turned on him.
Yeah. Well, when you suck, they turn on you. I mean, you guys turn on me every time I suck.
Well, and then we'd be turning on you every episode. But I like the learning, but yeah, FTR Cope needs to keep winning. They're going to build him and Moxley up. That's the direction they're going in.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to get. So I would assume that they beat the Learning Tree. And FTR is kind of hot now being with Cope. So, yeah, to me, that just makes the most sense. But, yeah, I think that's what they're going to do. All right. Raw. Netflix, baby. We're starting on Netflix. Raw. We'll see if they get 68 million people and we have to watch it buffer like the Jake Paul fight. But, listen, this is a stacked card that's pay-per-view quality. And if you are not even just a WWE fan, but if you're a wrestling fan and this is must watch. This is must watch. It's
I'm
must
definitely watching it.
You got to see it. You got to be there for the first night. History is going to be made. And they're stacking this thing to the gills. We got Solo and Roman. We got Punk and Rollins, which is most likely the main event. We got fucking Rhea and Liv for the world title.
In a last woman standing.
And another match that's announced that we'll talk about real quick. We have the New Day versus Rey Mysterio and a secret partner. Who's the secret partner? Why is it Pentagon? And who's going to win?
All right. So Pentagon's the secret partner.
Yep.
Why is it Pentagon? Well, basically, if you're a luchador, you belong in the NWO or in the not in the NWO, in the LWO because that was the WCW philosophy back then.
Woods had me dying though last week when he's like, "What are you going to get? One of your cosplay Rey Mysterios to come join you?" And I was like, "That was a pretty good line."
Yeah,
because they really are. It just looks like a bunch of little Rey Mysterios hanging out.
Yeah, even like the other two, Cruz del Toro and
Dragon
Joaquin Wild, the ones without the mask, they look like Ray without a mask on.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of Rays. Yep. Selena even looks like Ray with I don't want to say that, but Ray is a woman.
Never.
He's like, he didn't want to say it. I'll fucking say it with a snatch. No, but
I was going to say a hooch.
Whatever. But yeah, so it's a bunch of little Rey Mysterio. I think the New Day is going to win.
Yeah.
And if it's Penta, well, I don't know because you can't job him out your first.
Not on his first night.
But I'm going to still say that
I don't think New Day should lose. If they pin Ray and then Penta turns on Ray, then that's one thing. Because just because Pentagon is
Because Penta shouldn't be in the LWO. That's the thing.
Well,
He should not debut like that.
That's what I'm saying. Just because he's Latino does not mean he should be in the Latino World Order.
No, he shouldn't. He needs to be his own badass character that kind of fights the LWO. And then, because him and Ray is like, you got to do it while it's hot before Ray retires. You got Penta, you got Ray. You got to do Penta and Ray. Don't fuck around. And
his brother comes.
And there's so many other stuff that Penta can do. Like if you bring him in to put him in that group, you're killing him. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
You got to put him in and make him a big deal. So I'm still going to say the New Day though. That's my pick.
I mean, cheat to win.
I'm going to say Ray and Penta just because I don't see how Penta loses again, unless Ray takes the fall. But I'm still going Ray and Penta.
I'm going with Daniel here.
Okay. I love to hear that. All right. A match that I forgot in the top 3, but also a big marquee money match that could be a main event on any other Raw. Drew McIntyre and Jey Uso.
There's no reason for Drew McIntyre to lose.
Drew's winning.
Yep. You need to keep him hot.
I love Jey, but Jay's a babyface that can lose. And he's fine. His stock doesn't drop at all. And Drew's on this warpath. So Drew's kind of has to win.
Yep. He's on the warpath for the world title.
Okay. Solo and Roman, tribal combat. This is a little harder to predict. You've beaten Solo so many fucking times. Do we legitimize him or do we end this storyline?
I think Drew McIntyre gets involved and helps Solo win.
Okay, so Doug's got Solo.
I think Roman wins and The Rock comes back.
Ooh. And those are both great takes. I'm going to go Solo because that chubby bastard needs a W. I know he pinned Roman in that Saudi Arabia match, but it feels like the bloodline feels so badass on SmackDown, and then you take him to a PLE and you beat the fuck out of him every time.
I just don't see them having Roman losing on the first Netflix.
No, but if Solo loses, Solo's dead in the water, kind of.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's nothing else for him to do. His whole thing was becoming the tribal chief. So if he loses, the Ula Fala goes back on Roman's neck. Now we can prepare for Rock and Roman, and we can do all that cool shit. But now Solo means nothing. And this character that we built up for 8 months, it just fucks off.
Yeah.
So
I get what you're saying.
It's a hard one to book. I'm going to say Solo wins, but I totally see where you're coming from, too.
I could see Solo winning by cheating.
Well, that's why I'm saying Drew McIntyre is going to get involved.
Rhea and Liv.
Rhea, just because I think they like this story the story's been good.
It's been great. It's been the ace story on Raw.
But you do kind of have to put a close on it.
Yeah, it's over. I love
Who
Liv
comes back,
Morgan.
Becky or Charlotte to confront Rhea?
Obviously we know the vagina flare's coming back.
Yeah. I would rather, listen, I think Liv has had the best year of her career, and I think she 2024 might belong to Liv Morgan. I think that she fucking really showed out in that character that she did, and the sex appeal and the fucking bitchy and stealing Dom. I think it really worked, and I think it's the best work she's ever done. And to me, Liv Morgan finally clicked this year. Sadly, though, her time is coming to an end.
Yep.
Rhea's going to beat her. Rhea's going to win that championship back, and they're going to prepare Rhea for something else, and they're going to set Rhea up for WrestleMania with something else. This is over now, and I don't know what Liv's going to do. I don't know if they have anything for Liv. Move her to SmackDown maybe, because I don't know what else she can do. But that's the way I see it going. I see Rhea reclaiming her throne and then moving on to WrestleMania plans.
Yeah, I see either Charlotte or Becky confronting her after the match.
They might stretch it to Rumble though. But with the last woman standing, you kind of need a definitive end. But
yeah,
they could have a double
main event, boys. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. Who takes it?
Ooh, this is hard. They both need wins heading into WrestleMania season.
Yeah, I think Punk needs it more, though. I'm going Punk.
I'm going Punk.
I'm going to say Rollins just because, you say Punk needs it more. I think Rollins needs it more.
Does Rollins' stock drop though? Like similar to Jay, I feel like he can be in any situation and lose and be okay and still have people singing to the theme the next day. And it's not like people won't stop chanting CM Punk, but I do think a little stock. I think they want to build Punk up for the Rumble and be like, this guy could really win the Rumble. Like, because they're going to have Cena. They might have Rock. I think they want to have those big fucking forces in that it's like, oh, this guy could win. And I think that it's only natural to have him fucking beat Rollins.
Early prediction, do you think Punk wins Rumble?
I do. My I want Cody and Punk at WrestleMania. And then you lead to the Cody heel turn that way. That's what I want to do. Because you're going to split. It's the similar because people want to see Cena or people think it's going to be Cena. I don't want him to do Cena because it's going to split the crowd and it's going to make Cody turn heel.
Right.
If you do Punk, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to split the crowd and make Cody turn heel. But I think it's a way better program that you get out of it. And then you get like 4 more matches out of it.
Or does Punk turn heel?
I mean, it would probably be easier for Punk to turn heel, but
I don't think so.
Well, I mean, easier as in like, he's got more heel in him.
Well, he's more of a dick,
Yeah.
but it's also Cody with the suits and everything and the way he talks. Like when it happens,
I want Cody to turn heel.
People will be ready. People are already kind of ready.
Well, and also the fact that Cody's already Cody. Here's the thing. Cody, after he gets done with Kevin Owens, Cody is going to end up wrestling Nick Aldis because ever since Cody moved to SmackDown, Cody has metaphorically been putting his dick in Nick Aldis's mouth and making him suck it. Dry.
They have history.
Well, because Nick Aldis is trying to be the general manager and Cody's like, I do whatever the fuck I want. I'm the champion. So to me, Cody is already kind of a heel just because he basically keeps, wiping shit off his ass and putting the toilet paper on Aldis's head.
Yeah. You make a good point, though.
They're setting that. To me, that's not like a theory. They're setting that up. I don't know when. It could be after WrestleMania. It might not, but they are setting that up. Because literally every time Cody wants to have a match, Nick Aldis is like, no, this isn't the plan, Cody. And then Cody, with a terrible British accent, but then Cody's like, no, you're making the fucking match. Like it's happened multiple times. Every match that Cody's in, Nick Aldis is breaking the two up and he's like, Aldis, we're doing this. And then he's like, okay. It's every fucking time. So they're definitely setting up Aldis to turn heel, get back in the ring and wrestle Cody. I don't think it happens so close to WrestleMania season though.
When did they do
That's
Randy?
Not a WrestleMania program. Randy coming back and hitting him with an RKO is a WrestleMania program. Cena winning the Rumble is a WrestleMania program.
Well, no, I'm not saying
it's even finish it. Rock coming back and fucking doing the thing. That's a WrestleMania program. Go ahead.
I'm not saying that it's gonna happen at WrestleMania. It could happen at Elimination Chamber in Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying in WrestleMania season, I think they wait. Maybe they don't, but I think they might wait.
I mean, to be honest with you, I think Aldis should just slap him in the face tonight.
The great part about it is that there's so many different directions they can go.
Because let's be honest, too, Nick Aldis is a great babyface GM.
No, I like Nick Aldis. I don't want to. I mean, obviously he's going to turn heel because I don't see anybody really booing Cody, even though Cody is doing a bunch of heel shit right now.
Yeah.
Because he's acting like such a fucking bitch. It's just, I mean, because right now, Kevin Owens is the most justified heel in the company. Like
he was 3 weeks ago. Now he's starting to be a little more unjustifiable.
Yeah.
Or fucking the pile driver to Randy, the pile driver to Cody. Like he is being a piece of shit. He got his match, he lost. He's fucking he's being more of a traditional heel now with heel motives. The original foundation of it, of Cody working with Roman, yes, and I'll give it to you, and yes, he was justified. I've said it on the show. Now he's been so heelish. I think it's a great story, and I think Cody's looked like a good babyface. I don't necessarily agree with that. Do I think that he puts his force on Nick Aldis and they're building that up? 100%. They're going to do it.
Yeah.
But I don't think Cody's being a heel. He gets, and that crowd doesn't either.
Yeah.
Because he gets a pop with everything he says. So I get.
Well, American fans think the British suck.
That's true. I mean, we would have stayed if we didn't. But we wouldn't have bounced. Yeah, that's how it. But all right, so that's our predictions. If you want more current talk, watch Eric's live and then watch our review on Tuesday. Let's get into our main topic. This is a big one, guys. We've been talking about this for a while. We are rebooking the war, baby. So the Monday Night Wars is something that everybody talks about and everybody loves. And everybody likes to critique, too. All the Smart Mark fans like to get on fucking their little podcast like this one and fucking, oh, the Sting should have fucking, that shouldn't have been a dirty count. They should have fucking, Sting got fucked over at Starrcade. Goldberg shouldn't have lost to Kevin Nash. All right, well, we're going to rebook this bitch. We're going to put
Shane Gillis?
I didn't mean it.
Because that's the Shane Gillis Trump.
I'm sorry. I guess I just do it naturally. But no,
That's going to become your voice.
I'm just making fun of the fans because they bitch and they complain. And I get it. I bitched and even though I still think Kevin Nash should have beat Goldberg to this day. That's not a bad decision. but everything else, I get it. Instead of just complaining, we're going to book this bitch. And we're going to put the Monday Night Wars in our vision. We're going to start January 1st, 1998. I am going to be taking over from Vinnie Mac. He is going to be stepping down. I don't know if, he wants to, but he's going to have to. So fuck him. He's going to step down a little early. And I'm taking over for the McMahons. Doug is taking over for Eazy-E. Eric Bischoff. Doug will be controlling WCW. Me and him are going to be booking the shows, and we're going to be basically, I'll go through my Raw, he'll go through his Nitro. Of course, he has 2 other shows because it's Doug, and he'll do Saturday night's main event and Thunder as well. I'm just going to do Raw for now, and I might have a secondary show later on. We're just doing a month here. After each show, we're going to put a random number generator on the screen from 100,000 to 10 million. That's how many people watch the show. We're going to click it once for each of our show, and that is our ratings for the show, or buy rate for pay-per-views. It's going to be completely random, but it's a fun element to add to it. So that's what we're going to do. Eric, you might be sitting here like, you have this handsome son of a bitch and a nice hat. He's so beautiful. What the hell is he doing throughout this whole thing? Eric is going to be our Dave Meltzer. Eric is going to be our wrestling critic. And each match, after me and Doug read our match during the show, Eric is going to give that match after we described it in the finish and what happens. He's going to give it a star rating on where he thinks the angle's going and what he likes and what he doesn't like. He's going to give the whole show a rating when we're done. And he's going to say what he doesn't like and what he does like. And he's going to be our Meltzer.
Out of 5, right?
Out of 5, yeah.
Out of 5 stars, just like he would do.
Yep.
So, I mean, not that we wanted a Meltzer, but
we need a Meltzer. You don't just want a Meltzer, you need a Meltzer. And that's what Eric is. So he's going to be, so our basic metrics for this is the random number generator that gives us our ratings, which, I mean, obviously that doesn't mean anything about the quality, but fuck it. And what Eric's opinion, because he is our wrestling critic. He's our Meltzer. So that's our 2 metrics here. And it's just a fun little thing. Oh, I won the week, you won the week. But we're going to do that. I'm going to start with Monday Night Raw. I'm going to set the pace. I'm going to read that whole show. And then you go through Nitro. And then also, Doug's not going to go as far in, and we'll still do a rating for his secondary shows. It'll probably be a lesser rating because it'll be fucked up if Nitro gets 100,000 and Saturday Night gets 10 million. But can you hand me a water bottle, brother? But when you get a chance. Thank you, my friend.
You're welcome.
But yeah, that's how we're going to do it.
Good luck, boys.
Thank you. Eric's not going to really give star ratings for the secondary shows. We're going to Doug's going to talk about the angles and what goes on in them, and we're going to transition. So we're not here all year.
Sounds good.
But, I'm going to start out with Raw. Are we ready?
Now, when are you putting the generator up?
When I'm done with Raw.
Okay.
Good luck.
I almost said vibrator.
Now, at the start of every show, before the vibrators in my ass, but when we start the show, before we get into this, we get 3 signings a month. We can only pick up 3 people each for our roster.
Okay.
And that includes trades and or free agent signings. And we have to announce them before we start going over our shows.
And by the way, I already tried to break this rule, but he caught me.
Yeah.
So I pulled a U.
Doug kept cheating and trying loopholes. Oh, he signed in February. We start in fucking January. Fucking Doug was trying to get all kinds of talent. But we got him in line, and we're good now. One big, massive trade that we are going to announce, and I'll let you announce this, Doug.
All right. So I am using him for Nitro. But I'm only gonna. But he's gonna be done after this. And I also gave this other person to Dangle because he asked. Going over to WWF will be Hulk Hogan and Medusa, and coming over to WCW will be the Rock and Roll Express.
Ooh.
So I know what a lot of people are thinking. I'm the best businessman of all time right now.
Yeah, they're like, oh my God, we have Vince McMahon dealing with Vern Gagne.
I mean, in the looks, but Vern was bald, wasn't he?
Yeah,
but no,
I have Vern's hairstyle. I mean, Vern never grew a beard.
But so yeah, I'm getting rid of the Rock, and I will have the Rock and Roll on Raw. So that is the conditions of this trade. We each get a week to write our people off, and then we will receive them.
Yeah.
So Hulk Hogan is coming back to the WWF, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. And also too, I shall announce that my third free agent pickup is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Holy shit! And that's a big one.
Oh, wow.
We're gonna have to start writing this shit down, our pickups, but so we don't forget them.
I mean, technically, I have it.
Okay, cool.
Written in my.
I got mine too, so we're good.
Yeah.
All right. My third free agent signing might be a little weird because he's a little past his time in this era. The WWF is signing Harley Race.
Okay.
Eric says, like, all right, fine.
So let's start Raw. Monday night. We open up. We got JR and King, the famous duo, but we open up with Stone Cold in the middle of the ring. He's cutting a promo on how he needs to be champion. He's sick and tired of Shawn Michaels and that stupid reign, and he's ready to be the champion. The Undertaker comes out. And the Undertaker says anybody wants to get to the championship has to go through him. And that nobody is facing Shawn Michaels before he does. Then the sexy boy himself comes out with Triple H in China, and he says, listen, I like both of you two. Just kidding. I fucking hate you both. If you want a shot at the champ, you're going to have to fight in the main event tonight. You two, number 1 contenders match. I'll face the winner at Royal Rumble.
Okay. I like it already.
So we're going to do that in the main event of the show. But our first match is going to be the Black Heart, Owen Hart, who is, by the way, one of my top baby faces. After the whole, how he was treated after Brett left, I am trying to change that. That is one of the biggest initiatives. Yes, we are building around Stone Cold, but Owen Hart is a big priority in my company. This is all fan fiction, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, so don't copyright us, Hunter. But we got the Black Heart, Owen Hart versus Steve Blackman for the European Championship that Owen holds. This thing goes about 15 minutes. It's a nice brawl. They go to the outside of the ring. They take it up the ramp a little bit, but they get back in the ring. Owen hits a pile driver. Owen hits the sharpshooter and gets the win. And he gets Steve Blackman to tap out, which the commentators make a big deal. That goes about 15 minutes. And then Triple H comes out to the ring with a steel chair and beats the shit out of Owen. He beats the
like
shit out of Owen. He gets on the microphone and he said, "Your brother tried to go against us. Look what happened to him. If you think that you can get past me and Shawn Michaels, you have another thing coming." So we're setting that up. Next week, what would you give that match? 1 to 5. The Blackheart and Blackman.
I give it a 3.5 out of 5.
All right.
Good, solid opening match.
Thank
Nice
you.
15-minute match.
I'm trying my best. But this is fun. All right. We go to a backstage argument between The Rock and Farouk. The Rock says that the nation's bad off and they only have 3 members right now. Him, Farouk, and Kama. Because remember, D'Lo and fucking Mark don't join until the 12th. We start January 5th here. So the nation is incomplete, and Rock says we're in some trouble. And Farouk tells him to mind his business and to stick to being a soldier. And then we have a match between Taka Michinoku and Headbanger Mosh. This goes, and we need filler, damn it. This goes 8 minutes, and it's a nice high-flying showdown that shows both guys' skills. Taka whips out all the big flips, and he looks stunning in the process. Headbanger Mosh works kind of a slower style, tries to slow him down while Taka tries to speed the match up. Taka gets the win after 8 minutes.
I feel like it was a solid match. I'll give it a 2.75 out of 5.
All right. I think Eric was built for this. He's loving it already. But
I am loving this.
the next match on the card, we have the debut of The Godfather. But The Godfather's not who you think he is. Because I still have Charles Wright as Kama, Mustafa, and the Nation. So The Godfather will now be played by Flash Funk, Too Cold Scorpio for ECW fans.
Okay.
They never did anything with him there. He also came out with girls and was dancing, but the Flash Funk character was very gimmicky and stupid. We're going to turn him into a pimp. We're going to turn him into the Godfather, and he's going to have the whole train. It's going to be the same gimmick, but it's Flash Funk. And he can, and no offense to Kama, I love his style too, but Too Cold Scorpio is a much better worker in the ring. So that's my new Godfather. And he's going to come out and face Scott Taylor, a young job guy that would be known to be Scotty Too Hottie. Right now he's just Scott Taylor, and he's an underneath talent. And he's doing a job to the Godfather after 5 minutes. We do a spot, though, in the match where Scott hits the ropes, and one of the hoes grabs the ropes, and he falls out of it. So we do some interaction with the – and in today's – by the way – I'm still going by with the times. I'm sorry. I know it's 2024, but I'm in 1998. I don't have to PG. Fuck you. I'm not going to go too crazy, but this is still the attitude. I'm not reversing the attitude era, so woke people don't cancel me. Yep. But the Godfather, that's the day.
Well, if you're canceled, it'll be easier for me to win the war.
Oh, there you go. Selfish bastard. All right, what do you give the Godfather versus Scott Taylor? It goes 5 minutes to a Godfather victory.
I give it 2.5 out of 5.
All right. Next up, we have the New Midnight Express with Jim Cornette and the Rock and Roll Express. And again, those two are going at it for the NWA Tag Team belts because they were doing that storyline at the time. And they got Jeff Jarrett as a special guest referee. Before the match can even get started, Vader comes out, beats the shit out of everybody, destroys the Rock and Roll. That's how we write the Rock and Roll off TV. Now they can go to Doug. He sets up 2 tables, puts both of them through them, and then he beats the shit out of the New Midnights. Vader, where I'm going with Vader is all the bad gimmicks at the start of the end of the new generation and the start of the Attitude Era, everything that wasn't working, Vader's going to come out and beat the fuck out of you. And that's how we're going to write it up.
I like it.
No more Rock and Roll, no more New Midnights. He grabs the end of...
I could sign the New Midnights?
They're still on my roster, asshole. I'm just repackaging them.
All right.
But
I had to ask.
No, fuck you. You get the Rock and Rolls.
I can't get them now. I already announced my 3.
All right. But even next month. But Vader beats the shit out. He grabs Cornette, puts Cornette through the announce table. He beats the shit out of Jeff Jarrett. He grabs the NWA titles, throws them on the ground, stomps on them, grabs the microphone and says, "The NWA is dead. It's Vader time."
Ooh, I like that.
I'll let you rate that segment, even though you're just rating the matches. Because that was kind of a match.
5 out of 5.
My boy.
Kiss ass.
That's the direction we're going with Vader. Next, we have The Rock, and he's with the Nation, and he's going against Aguila, who was another cruiser. Who did he go on to be?
S.A. Rios.
S.A. Rios later on, but he was a high flyer. He had that match with Taka at WrestleMania. It was a really good match. This is a nice match to get Rock over. Rock works his style, and the crowd's starting to cheer him. And I can't really predict what the crowd does as the owner, but we are starting a Rock babyface turn. The Rock is going more for the people and less for the Nation. And right after him and Farouk, after he wins, because Farouk tries to cheat throughout the match and Rock doesn't let him. After Rock wins, which the match goes 9 minutes, I have Farouk get in the ring and argue with Rock and like give him a slight push and say, "Hey, fall in line. And then they do the thing with him, Rock, and Kama. And Rock eventually does it, but reluctantly. So we're teasing that Rock's not happy. Next, we have what would you get that match, Eric?
2.5 out of 5.
All right. Next, we have Shamrock in the back with Michael Cole, and he does a promo how he came here to fight the baddest, and he's looking forward to do that in the Rumble. And that every single man better to get ready to go against the baddest man on planet Earth, because he's coming in that Rumble to win, and he's coming to challenge for the WWE Championship. He's always been the best at anything he's ever done, and here is going to be no different. All right. Next, we also do another quick in the backstage to Rock and Farouk. They're still arguing. Kama gets in the middle of them and says the Nation needs to get back to business. Then we go to Dr. Death. Dr. Death makes his debut. He comes out to the ring. Steve Williams. He's in the ring.
Jim Ross?
No JR. JR's a commentary.
Okay.
Dr. Death is by himself. And he says that he is here to destroy. Whether it's Stone Cold, whether it's Undertaker, whether it's Shawn Michaels. He says he hopes Steve Austin loses tonight and is in the Royal Rumble so he can eliminate him himself.
Damn.
He says as a part of a signing bonus to get him on board that he has the number 30 entrant in the Royal Rumble.
Wow. Okay.
But he will put that on the line next week to any man to dare to face the most dangerous man in the WWF. The Puerto Rican sensation Savio Vega comes out. Savio says that anybody claiming to be a tough guy in the WWF has to go through him first, and that he would be honored to kick his ass next week.
Damn.
So we're setting up those two next week, winners number 30 in the Rumble.
Good solid segment.
Thank you. Next up, we have Billy Gunn with Road Dogg going against Road Warrior Hawk with Animal. Road Warrior Hawk gets the win after, both teams end up brawling after. But after a nice hard working 7-minute match, Hawk gets the W. We're setting up a tag title match between the two at Royal Rumble. Similar to what they did in real life, except we're showing the Road Warriors a lot more respect. So the Road Warriors are being pushed as a legitimate tag team, but the old guard coming to show the young guns that they're here not to fuck around.
Was this more of a brawl?
It was more of a brawl. Road Dogg tries to, slow it down and makes it a bit technical. Or no, Billy tries to speed it up and make it a bit more technical, but Hawk stops him, and Hawk's brute force is too much for him to deal with.
Okay. I give it a 2.75 out of 5.
All right. I'm striking twos here. Our main event of the evening, Stone Cold and The Undertaker in the number 1 contenders match for the Royal Rumble, for the World Championship for Shawn Michaels. This goes about 20 minutes, It's a hard-fought match. The two have great chemistry. They take it outside a couple times. They do a couple ring post bumps. The big finish at the end, Undertaker has Stone Cold in the tombstone when the turnbuckles light on fire. He starts looking around. He drops Stone Cold, and then from underneath the ring, Kane comes out, choke slams him, gives him the tombstone, walks away. Stone Cold fucking crawls on top of him, gets the 1, 2, 3. So we're setting up Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels for the WWE Championship at Royal Rumble. Shawn comes out after and stares Stone Cold down from the ramp, and we're setting that up, and Undertaker has to worry about his brother now.
5 out of 5.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to get the number generator. As a whole show, what did you think of the show? As it was put together front to start, give some brief thoughts first before you give your rating, and then give a rating.
I thought it was a solid show. I would definitely watch it. I thought it was a good show to start out the new year, and I like all the storylines that you did. So overall, I would give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Ooh, thank you. My boy. Doug, you getting scared?
A little bit, yeah.
All right. You want to talk a little bit while I'm doing this? 100,000.
All right. So as Daniel's setting up here, he's trying to see exactly what.
Is that 10 million? It won't let me put a
Let's
comment.
see. 10 and then 3. So it's 10 and then 3 zeros. I count 3. 1.
You have no idea.
1, 2, 3. Yeah. That's 10 million.
Wow.
All right. So the amount of people that watch this can be between 100,000 and 10 million. It's a big, it's a big jump. So the ratings on this could be anything really. Let's see how many people tuned in to watch Monday Night Raw this week. Can we do a screen share?
Yep.
Get the generator up. There we go. Can you see it, Eric?
Yeah.
We got it right there. I believe that's 100,000 and then 10 million. Let's generate. Let's see what Raw did.
All right. So hold on. So 1,829,868. So
I popped
1.9 million people if you round off.
So I had 1.9 on my episode of Raw. That's a good start. That's not
That's
bad.
actually what today's wrestling is. I mean, no.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
So that Hummer did a 1 point. Write that down somewhere, Doug. Hummer did a 1.9. I'll write it down later.
You ready, Dutch?
Raw does 1.9. Write that in the pen. I won't be able to read later.
Now, over on Dougie's show, we're going to flip the channel, and we're going to go to WCW Nitro, baby.
Well, I got Saturday night first because they did a Saturday night.
Oh.
So we got WCW Saturday night. Quick points, what happens on the show?
All right. So they start Saturday night with Hugh Morris taking on Ray Traylor with Jimmy Hart watching on. Ray Traylor wins after about 6 minutes. Do an interview with Booker T. He talks about how he's going to defend the TV title against Conan Monday night. We then go to Glacier and Ernest the Cat Miller versus Norman Smiley and Chris Adams. Glacier and Ernest Miller continue to have issues, and Norman Smiley and Chris Adams get the upset win. Steiner brothers are interviewed about their tag team title match later on in the show against Scott Hall and the Macho Man.
Ooh.
Then we get Disco Inferno versus Fit Finlay. Jimmy Hart, who watched the Ray Traylor Hugh Morris match earlier on, he comes out, watches this match. Fit Finlay defeats the Disco Inferno after about 5 minutes. You get an interview with J.J. Dillon in the back. he says that Kurt Hennig and Diamond Dallas Page will go at it on Nitro for the U.S. title in the Starrcade rematch.
Okay.
Then we get Chris Jericho taking on Hard Work Bobby Walker. Jimmy Hart comes out, watches again. Hard Work Bobby Walker gets an upset win after 4 minutes. Jericho throws a tantrum. Then Lee Marshall interviews Jimmy Hart. By the way, your broadcasters are Tony Schiavone and Dusty Rhodes.
Okay.
Lee Marshall interviews Jimmy Hart, and Jimmy Hart says he's reforming the First Family, and he was looking for new recruits.
Yeah.
Then we get Kidman taking on Steve Mongo McMichael. Mongo wins after about 2 minutes. Get an interview with Mongo. He talks about how he's going to team with Chris Benoit to take on Saturn and Riggs on Nitro. Then the main event of the show, Scott Hall and the Macho Man Randy Savage challenge the Steiner Brothers for the World Tag Team titles. After about 10 minutes, Scott Hall and the Macho Man are able to upset the Steiner Brothers, get the belts after miscommunication between Rick and Scott.
Yeah.
Wow.
So ended on a title change.
Interesting. Now, do I give a rating for this too?
Yeah, you can give a show rating.
Okay. I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
Right.
Oh, so he's doing overall show. He's doing it out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good solid show.
I can just make this 5 and I'm good, right?
Yeah.
6-0.
Awesome job, Doug.
Thank you. Yep, it's 6 zeros.
All right. From 100,000 to 5 million. Let's see what Saturday night did for Doug. 3 million. So you're already starting off hot.
It's 3 point. It's a 3.9 rating technically.
3,916,153 people watch.
Aha. So I'm gonna write it next to mine.
It's a secondary show.
3.9.
It's already doing good.
So you did a 1.9 for your Raw. My Saturday night did a 3.9, and now we're getting a Nitro.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Let's
Here
hear
we
it.
go.
All right. So Nitro, January 5th, 1998. We're in the Georgia Dome in Atlanta.
Real
Ooh.
quick. This episode is probably going to have to be the first half of January, correct?
Yeah.
If we want to get to SmackDown.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, go ahead.
All right. I mean, I'll try to hurry up, but
No, don't,
yeah,
because I want to get as much content.
I'm long-winded.
No,
and
Make it what it needs to be.
okay. All right. So we're gonna start the night off. The NWO is in the ring cutting a promo. Hollywood Hogan wants the WCW World Title back. He challenges Sting. Says he will leave the WCW and the NWO if Sting beats him tonight.
Ooh.
So now, first match on the show, Chavo Guerrero Jr. versus the Ultimo Dragon for the Cruiserweight title. Get about 7 minutes in there. The Dragon wins with the Dragon Sleeper.
Yes.
Ooh. Was Chavo get any offense in?
Chavo gets offense in. Like I said, it goes about 7 minutes. Chavo does a little bit of high flying, but the Dragon's able to ground him. Dragon gets him in the sleeper and taps him out. Just like Dragon did to Uncle Eddie the week before to win the title.
Good solid opening match. A little shorter, but I'll still give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Some good cruiserweight action.
Okay.
Since
All right.
Since it was a title match.
Other end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
John Nord used to be known as the Berserker in the WWF. He makes his Nitro debut against Ming. Jimmy Hart in the corner. After about 4 minutes of them just pounding each other, Ming gets the tongue and death grip in. Takes out John Nord, wins the match.
Kind of like a squash match, but not squash match.
Yeah, about 4 minutes. So John Nord gets a couple of things in, but nothing like
Too amazing.
yeah, nothing like that's spectacular.
It's a 1-star match.
2.5 out of 5.
What did he say?
He said 2.5.
Oh God, he's being nice. He gave some of my good shit 2.5.
All right.
That's a 0.3 out of fucking.
By the way,
Fuck your shitty.
Am I being too nice?
Yeah, you are being too nice. It's because he bullies you. I knew this was gonna happen. It's because Doug's mean, so you don't want to give him a bad rating. That's a half-star fucking match, and don't be afraid to give it to him, Eric.
Okay.
All right. Next, we get an interview with Ric Flair. Ric Flair challenges Kurt Hennig to a cage match on the debut episode of Thunder this upcoming Thursday.
And remember, Eric, Meltzer's a dick, so you're allowed.
Yeah,
Okay.
he also sucks dick.
You can do that too.
All right.
Go ahead.
Match number 3. Television title. Conan and Booker T. All right. We go about, and now it's 10-minute time limit because it's TV. So it's a 10-minute time limit. Conan comes close on a couple of different occasions, but Booker T is able to win after executing the Harlem Hangover leg drop. After about 8 minutes, Booker T retains.
Ooh. I think that's a solid match. I'll give it a 2.75.
All right.
All right. Up next, real back and forth match. Johnny Swinger versus Bill Goldberg.
Wait, what?
Match goes 45 seconds. Goldberg beats the shit out of him. Spear, jackhammer, Goldberg wins it.
1 out of 5.
All right. Up next, one of the heavily advertised matches for Nitro. Kurt Hennig gets his rematch for the U.S. title against Diamond Dallas Page. They're going to go about 11 minutes. Hennig, of course, Rick Rude tries to help Kurt Hennig. Doesn't work. Page cracks both their heads together, then hits Hennig with the diamond cutter. Rick Rude tries to intervene. Ric Flair grabs him, hits him, and Diamond Dallas Page gets the win, retains the title.
4.5 out of 5.
There you go.
Go fuck yourself.
I will. Well, if I have time, I will. But
Okay, go ahead.
all right. Interview with the Giant. The Giant wants Kevin Nash at the Clash of Champions at the end of the month.
Holy shit.
Didn't get him at Starrcade. He wants him at Clash of Champions in Dayton, Ohio. Matchup number 6, La Parka versus the man who's making his first appearance but has been signed since the beginning. It has been signed since the end of December.
Okay.
But he's making his Nitro debut. Rick Martel.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. We go about 6 minutes. La Parka tries to use the chair, goes to hit Martel with it. Martel ducks. The chair bounces off the ropes, hits La Parka in the head. Then Martel locks in the Quebec Crab. La Parka taps out.
2 out of 10. 2 out of 5.
All right.
2 out of 10. It's a shitty match.
Shut up. All
It
right.
didn't sound like there was too much action.
I agree. I thought it was bullshit. Change the channel.
All right. Saturday night did better than Raw.
It's a random number generator.
All right. Up next, representing the flock, Saturn and Riggs versus Chris Benoit and Steve Mongo McMichael. Match goes about 10 minutes. Mongo is fighting off the other members of the flock on the outside. Raven sneaks in, hits Chris Benoit with the even flow DDT. Saturn then locks Benoit in the rings of Saturn. And since Benoit's already unconscious, the referee rings for the bell. Saturn and Riggs win it.
All right.
2.5 out of 5.
All right. Up next, main event time. Hollywood Hogan challenging Sting for the WCW World title. Sting is beating the crap out of him. They go about 13 minutes. Hogan gets his stuff in. Hogan goes for the leg drop, misses. Sting hits a Stinger splash, goes to lock in the Scorpion Death Drop. Kevin Nash comes out to help Hogan, but is stopped by Scott Hall and the Macho Man. Hogan taps out of the Scorpion, and now Hulk Hogan must leave WCW.
Oh shit.
3.75 out of 3.75 out of 5.
All right.
Hogan has been written off of television.
Yep, Hogan is gone.
All right, Eric Meltzer.
Yes, sir.
After watching this fine show of programming, watching a fine wrestling show, even though you watched a much better one earlier, but you watch a fine wrestling show, what would you give it out of 10?
I thought it was a solid show. I just expected a little more storylines, but I know that's probably coming soon.
Right.
So at the end of the day, Daniel wins this week. So I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Fuck yeah. I won the Eric metric. A 7.5?
Just because I thought there was going to be more storylines.
So I got an 8.5. Doug gets a 7.5?
Yep.
All right. I won the critics.
It's still a solid show, Doug.
Yeah.
I won the critics. Let's see if I can win the casuals. Let's go back to the random number generator and let's see what Doug's January 5th episode of Nitro did. I'm going to change it back to 10. Don't worry. I can see you're bugging. There you go.
All right.
All right. Can you see it, Eric?
Yep.
All right. Like I said, I got a 1.9 million. That's what Raw did. Nitro stays winning in the ratings. Are they trading yet? Or Nitro's been winning, right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's see if Raw can come. Obviously, they couldn't do better than Saturday night, but let's see Raw versus Nitro. Let's see what Doug's episode of Nitro got in the ratings.
6,507,424.
All right.
Damn.
So 6.5 million.
All right. I'm a
You
critic, darling.
both
but
did a
fuck
good
it.
job.
Thank you. Doug is still killing it with the popularity in the casual market, and he's got 5 million more fans, or about 5 or 4 million more fans than Raw has right now. Even though it could be combined households, you never know. Nitro's rating, what'd you get? 6.9 or 6.5?
6.5.
6.5. All right. We'll probably do one more episode each.
Okay.
And then we'll see if I can get to the Rumble, but probably not. Because this is my go home for the Rumble. My January 12th episode of Raw.
Now, should I go through Thunder real quick, or?
Oh, yeah. Tell us what happened on Thunder.
All right. And then, all right. So Thunder, Kurt Hennig and Ric Flair open up in the steel cage match. Rick Rude tries to intervene in the cage. After about 12 minutes, Bret Hart comes out, chases Rick Rude off. Kurt Hennig tries to escape the cage. Bret Hart slams the door on his head.
Yeah.
Flair rolls him up, pins him, wins it.
Okay.
Next, Louis Spicolli takes on Ray Traylor. Goes about 4 minutes. Ray Traylor wins. Jimmy Hart's watching on again, looking to recruit Ray Traylor for the First Family. Scott Hall cuts a promo. Larry Zbyszko comes out to confront him because they're going to wrestle at the Clash. The NWO members attack. Luger, the Steiner brothers, Bret Hart, and Sting all come out and help. Larry Zbyszko fending off the NWO. Chris Jericho versus Dean Malenko. Jimmy Hart's watching on again. Jericho throws another tantrum after Dean Malenko rolls him up after about 15 minutes.
Oh, shit.
Psychosis, Juventud Guerrera, Eddie Guerrero, and Rey Mysterio Jr. in a number one contenders match for the Cruiserweight title. 9 minutes, Rey gets the win. The Barbarian versus the Giant. The Giant wins after 3 minutes. Calls out Kevin Nash one more time. Buff Bagwell versus Lex Luger goes about 8 minutes. Luger wins that one after putting Bagwell in the torture rack. Scott Hall wrestles Rick Steiner. Larry Zbyszko comes out, attacks Scott Hall, causing Rick Steiner to get disqualified. Scott Steiner comes out and starts pushing around Larry Zbyszko for costing his brother the match. Main event, Kevin Nash versus the Macho Man Randy Savage. NWO come out trying to separate them. The Giant comes out again, says, Nash, I want an answer for the clash. Nash says, all right, fine, you got it.
You're stacking up these second shows too.
That exactly. And that's Thunder.
Okay, well, that sounds like a really good Thursday episode of Thunder. Eric Meltzer, it was a quick Thursday watch for you. What did you think?
I kind of liked it better than Nitro.
So
7.75 out of 10.
So there you go.
All right.
I'm not writing the you can write the secondary shows down, but I'm only my documents are focused on the war.
Right. Yeah. So do you want to do the generator? I'm not writing down Eric Meltzer.
No, write his Meltzers.
Okay.
I'm writing his Meltzers down. That's the other metric that matters. You and me are technically like I'm beating you critically. I'm better than you critically right now. You're kicking my ass in the numbers, but I'm better than you critically. He thought Raw was a better show. And those subscribers to The Observer give a fuck.
7.75 Meltzer.
I
forgot what he said for Saturday night. So
fuck it.
7.
7. There you go. So let's start calling him Seltzer so we don't get screwed.
Okay.
Eric Seltzer. of the wrestling intuitive. All right, we're back at the random number generator. We got you between 100,000 and 5 million, because that's what we're doing for the secondary shows. Let's see what Thunder did in the numbers. What is the rating for Thunder?
2 million.
2.7.
2.7 million.
So far, all the WCW shows are doing better than Raw. It's fucking bullshit.
All right.
I hate this idea, even though I came up with it.
So I do have a Saturday night, but I've talked like 3 shows in a row. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, I forgot.
I mean, I can just bullet point.
Are there big shit that happens or?
Renegade versus Chris Benoit. Raven attacks Benoit one more time. J.J. Dillon announces Scott Hall and the Macho Man in a rematch against the Steiner brothers for Nitro. Oh, here's the biggest thing. Rey Mysterio Jr. wrestles Ultimo Dragon for the Cruiserweight title, and Rey wins it.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
So I do a title change on Saturday night.
You get title changes.
Okay. Raven gets an interview after earlier on when he attacked Benoit. He wants Benoit in a Ravens Rules match at the Clash. Bret Hart is also interviewed on Saturday night. He challenges Ric Flair and Kurt Hennig to a triple threat match at the Clash of Champions. Disco Inferno wrestling Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Jimmy Hart talks to Disco after Disco loses again. Your main event is Kevin Nash and Ray Traylor. Scott Steiner accidentally hits Ray Traylor, causing Kevin Nash to win the match.
Okay. Eric, quick watch. What did you think?
6 out of 10.
All right. 6. Let's see the rating that Saturday night did. Can it keep that 3.5 from earlier? Or 3 whatever.
Okay. Oh, you have it at 10 million though.
Okay. Could have been my Raw.
All right, 2.0. All right. By the way, the opening match of that Saturday night was Ming and Lex Luger, with Lex Luger getting the win, but that's not important.
Oh.
2.0 is still a good rating. All right, we'll end with this. We'll probably rename the title to January, the first half of January. Next week we are coming back and doing this again. So for everybody, We're going to be doing the second week of January, or the second half of January next week. I'll be getting into the Royal Rumble. He'll be getting into his Clash, and it'll be a lot of fun stuff.
Well, I mean, there's still like more nitros and stuff we gotta do leading up to.
I know, but I'm just saying that everything.
Okay.
You guys did a good job.
Yeah, well, we still got 1 week left. So I'm going to do my next Raw. He's going to do his next Nitro, and maybe save the other ones for next time. But
Okay.
Next week will be part 2.
yes. And for everybody, for the current slate of programming on the show, yes, we will be doing that next week. The week after, HBO's on Max, or HBO's on Max. AEW's on Max now, baby. So you know what that means. We're going to be reviewing the first ever Double or Nothing, Cody Dustin, the Young Bucks, the Luchas. It's going to be a great time. We have great memories from that pay-per-view. I watched a little bit of it the other day already. So yeah, we're excited to do that. We'll be doing that. And then we have the poll that Doug talked about for the week after. So that's the current slate.
Right now they only have 2019, right, on there?
And a little bit of this year since like October.
Yeah. Good job, boys.
The 2019 stuff's the best stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you. You ready for the next week, Seltzer?
Yep.
All right.
Yes, I am.
By the way, your second week should probably kick the ass of my second Nitro. So
Hopefully.
Uh-oh.
All right. Oh, that fart stinks. Shawn Michaels comes out and says he's way better than Stone Cold Steve Austin and Undertaker and anyone else in the WWF. He says he will be in the main event to face off against Austin later on. And he's going to tell Austin what a coward he thinks he is. He said Austin needed Kane to win. The sexy boy doesn't need anybody to win. The Royal Rumble is going to be a cakewalk for him. While he's talking, the Blackheart, Owen Hart, comes out with a steel chair. He comes out. Triple H runs to him. He clocks Triple H in the head. China goes to hit him. He kind of goes like this on the ropes, and China falls out of the ropes. He goes to attack Shawn, but Shawn runs out of the ring. He's like hitting the chair on the ropes, and Shawn and he's pointing at Shawn and said, "I'm coming for you." And Shawn and Triple H scurry off and run into the back. And then that starts with our opening matchup: Owen Hart versus Jeff Jarrett for the European title. We're starting off fast paced from a segment right to a match just like that. This goes about 12 minutes. There's a couple of high spots. These guys have good chemistry and they know each other well, but it ends in a sharpshooter. That is, the sharpshooter is Owen Hart's finishing move from now on. Yep. He is determined to make Shawn Michaels tap out with the sharpshooter. That is his mission, and he's going to do anything to get there.
All right, who did he just beat?
Jeff Jarrett.
Okay.
Jeff Jarrett came out without the NWA title, without any mention of the NWA, because that's done now that Vader stopped that. Jeff Jarrett came out as Jeff Jarrett.
It's Double J.
This goes 12 minutes. Eric, what did you think?
I thought it was a good solid opener. I like that Owen won with the sharpshooter. I like the way you're going with Owen Hart, determined to tap out my boy Shawn Michaels. So I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Thank you. To me, that's the storyline that needed to happen. He's got to avenge his brother. But next, we shoot backstage, and Shawn's running away with Triple H. Triple H has his bags, and he says, "We got to get out of this building. Owen Hart's coming for us." While he turns the corner, he runs into the Undertaker, and the Undertaker looks pissed. The Undertaker is staring him in the eyes. Triple H he moves just a squint, and fucking Undertaker grabs him by the throat. While he has Triple H by the throat, he's looking Shawn in the eyes, and he's saying that even though he's not facing him at the Royal Rumble because his brother couldn't mind his business, his time with the Den Man will come, and that Shawn Michaels is not safe. And his time will come to rest in peace.
So you have the Undertaker, you have Stone Cold, and you have Owen all chasing Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels is a wanted man. And that's basically what his reign as the champion right now. Everybody's after him. And he's extremely paranoid about it. Next we got Exactly. Next we got Taka and Goldust. Taka Michinoku versus Goldust. This goes 8 minutes. Goldust isn't doing the weird shit with Luna. He comes by himself. He's got Marlena, and they have an old school match. Taka tries to speed it up and keep flying around and do the stuff that brought him success last week, but Goldust just isn't having it, and he stops him at every turn. He hits him with a low blow at one point, and he ends up Shattered Dreams. What's the finish?
Curtain call.
The curtain call, and he wins. This thing goes about 8 minutes. It's a fast-paced match, but Goldust ends up coming away with it.
Sounds like a solid match, so I'll give it a 2.75 out of 5.
All right. Backstage, Kevin Kelly is with Dr. Death, and he says that nobody is more dangerous than him. And tonight might just be the last time we see Savio Vega. Then the Nation comes out, and Farouk says that the Nation will take over WWE in the next couple months, and they're not fucking around anymore. Big changes are coming, and it's all going to start with The Rock beating Mark Merrow right now, and then at the Rumble, and then fucking Farouk going on to win the Rumble. So that's what we're building up right now. Sable and Merrow come out, and they says and Merrow says if Farouk had an old lady like Sable at home, then maybe he wouldn't be such a crab. And Sable comes out and struts a little bit. Then we have Steve Blackman and Shamrock. They go at it for about 10 minutes. It's a hard-hitting match. It's hardcore, so Shamrock takes out a chair. Fucking Steve Blackman has the little nunchuck things, and he gets a kendo stick at some point. Shamrock ends up coming out with the win after 10 minutes. He hits him with the ankle lock, and Steve Blackman passes out. Because it's a bloody match, Steve Blackman's bloody, and he passes out from the blood.
Ooh. I'll give it a 3.25 out of 5.
All right.
Did I give was there another match before that I didn't do?
No, it was just segments.
Okay.
Next, we have the Road Warriors, and it's Animal, and he's going against the Road Dog. And Animal gets the win after 7 minutes. So now both members of the Legion of Doom has beaten both members of fucking the New Age Outlaws, and they're setting up this Royal Rumble match after Billy Gunn comes in and clips Animal at the knees, and then Hawk comes in to save, and they run away like pussies. This goes about 7 minutes.
Maybe 2.25.
All right. Tiger Ali Singh comes out to do a promo. He announces how he's better than everybody in the world, and he'll pay somebody money to come kiss his ass right now. Before anybody in the crowd can come out, Vader's music hits.
Uh-oh.
And it's Vader time. Vader marches to the ring, grabs Ali by the throat, gives him about 15 Vader bombs, sets up a table, throws him through it, has him gorilla press like this over his head and throws him out of the ring, and picks up the microphone, says, "No more stupid shit. It's Vader time."
Overall segment, nice.
Thank
Give
you.
it a solid 3.5.
I appreciate that. In the main event, we have, even though the technical main event is a face-off between Shawn and Austin, but the main event match is Dr. Death, Steve Williams versus Savio Vega. Winner gets the number 30 slot in the Royal Rumble. After 16 minutes, and about 13 is domination on Dr. Death's part. He's beating the shit out of this poor guy. Savio has a couple comebacks throughout and starts to mount something, but every time he does, Dr. Death gets him at the knees and fucking goes back to laying the hurt on him. This is a very dominant performance, and Dr. Death gets the win after 16 minutes.
Nice.
Dr. Death.
3 out of 10. I mean, 3 out of 5.
You're the man. After he gets on the microphone and says he's coming in the number 30 slot, and anybody who's left should be scared. All right. Our main event segment, Austin and Shawn, they're doing a face-off in the middle of the ring. Sean grabs a microphone and he says he's got to get the hell out of here. He has more things to worry about than just Austin, and he'll see him at the Rumble. And Austin looks at him and says, listen, I would keep my mind on me because next thing you know, you're going to turn your head and I'm going to hit you with a stunner. Isn't that right, Owen? He turns around, turns back to 2 middle fingers, and then he hits him with the stunner. Triple H goes after him, gets hit with the stunner. China goes after him, gets hit with a stunner, and then he grabs his beers and he's toasting in front of them and flips them all off and leaves the ring.
5 out of 5.
I appreciate that. What did you think of this episode of Monday Night Raw? What is the Eric Seltzer rating?
I thought it was a good show. I liked the direction with Owen. I like the direction with HBK, with all these people chasing him. It reminds me of kind of what Boston's going through right now in AEW. But
yeah,
overall, solid show, good matches. I give it an 8 out of 10 this week.
All right. It dropped a little bit, but it's still good with the critics. 8 out of 10. Now, let's take it to the people. Godspeed. Please help me out with this one.
Well, last week was a 1.9.
Last was a 1.9. It was a good rating, but not what I needed. Nitro kicked my ass. This was a good episode of Raw. Seltzer liked it a lot. Let's see what the people think. What is the rating for Raw?
Holy fuck.
950,000. We dropped. Under a million. We're hitting Tony Khan numbers. We're 950,000. We're big with the critics, but the people aren't catching on yet. Son of a bitch.
So Doug is going to go next week, right?
No, he's going to do his now.
Okay.
I'm going to do my Nitro now.
Okay.
You got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I'm getting slaughtered, but that's okay.
All right. We're going to open up Wrath and Booker T for the TV title.
Ooh.
Footage is shown from Saturday night when Mortis wrestled Rick Martel, and Martel got the win, and Wrath attacked him, and then Booker T came to Martel's aid. They go 7 minutes here with Booker T rolling up Wrath for the win. Mortis attacks. Rick Martel comes out, saves Booker T. And then they agree to a tag team match the following week on Nitro. Wrath and Mortis versus Booker T and Rick Martel. By the way, we're in Tampa, Florida.
So I'll give that a 2.75 out of 5.
Okay. Interview with Kevin Nash. He calls out Scott Hall, wanting answers after what happened last week to Hogan. Scott Norton comes out instead. Norton says that Kevin Nash needs to get used to change. Up next, we have Chris Jericho versus Juventud Guerrera. Jericho locks Juventud in the Lion Tamer. Juventud taps out. 13-minute match. Chris Jericho gets interviewed after the match, says he wants a cruiserweight title shot at the Clash against Rey Mysterio, the new champion. Jimmy Hart comes out and invites Chris Jericho to join the First Family.
That back and forth match, right?
Yeah.
So I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
Okay. All right. Real barn burner here coming up.
All right.
Brad Armstrong versus Marty Jannetty.
Oh boy.
Eric, do the right thing.
Brad Armstrong gets a couple of moves in, but this is a showcase for Jannetty. After about 5 minutes, Jannetty hits the rocker dropper, gets the win.
Can I give it a 0.5 out of 5?
Yeah.
0.5 out of 5.
That's fine.
Ha-ha! I don't care if no one's watching my shit. It's good.
Sorry, Doug.
That's all right. I'm winning the.
He's like, it's the numbers until I give a fuck.
Yeah. Buff Bagwell versus the Giant in the next match. After 5 minutes, the Giant chokeslams Buff Bagwell, gets the win.
Okay.
1 out of 5.
All right.
Your shit's getting shit on.
Your numbers mean nothing.
It means something to me, Eric.
Because that's where you're excelling.
You're putting out a bad product.
All right. Next interview.
You have to draw my interest.
Yeah. I don't have to draw your interest. I have to draw the interest of the number generator.
There's 2 metrics, though. You're only winning in one. You're not. The other metrics just as important in this fantasy world.
Well, I don't like the other metrics.
A lot of people don't like Meltzer.
So, all right. The next interview is Bret Hart and J.J. Dillon comes out. All right, or J.J. Dillon and then Bret Hart comes out. I'm sorry. J.J. Dillon says that the winner of the triple threat match at the Clash between Bret Hart, Ric Flair, and Kurt Hennig will face the winner of the Scott Hall Sting match that is going to take place at Super Brawl.
Okay.
They're going to face the winner of that match for the WCW title at Uncensored.
Ooh,
So we're going to build up to the Uncensored pay-per-view.
very nice. The Clash is first, though, right?
Yes, the Clash comes and then Super Brawl and then Uncensored. Saturn versus Steve Mongo McMichael. Go about 9 minutes. The Flock tries to interfere. Dean Malenko comes out and helps out Mongo fighting off the Flock. Raven tries to get involved. Chris Benoit comes out, throws him into the steel steps, and then locks him in the crossface. On the floor, Saturn tries to go out, tries to get out of the ring to help Raven. Mongo catches him, puts him for the Tombstone Pile Driver, spikes him, gets the win after about 9 minutes.
2.5.
All right. Next up, formerly Lord Steve Regal versus the Total Package Lex Luger. Goes about 5 minutes. Regal gets a couple things in. Luger racks Steve Regal and gets the win there.
2 out of 5.
All right. Next up, we have Stevie Ray of Harlem Heat taking on Ray Traylor. Stevie Ray gets the win Ray Traylor gets the win after about 6 minutes. Jimmy Hart comes out, invites Ray Traylor to join the First Family.
Interesting. Another 2.
All right. Main event, the Steiner brothers versus Scott Hall and the Macho Man Randy Savage for the tag titles. During the match, Scott Steiner is getting upset with Rick. So he just says the heck with it and walks out on him.
Ooh.
Rick gets double teamed, outsider's edge, elbow drop. Lex Luger comes out, tries to talk some sense into Scott, says you need to go back out there, help your brother. And Scott says, okay, I'll follow you. Lex Luger goes out there. Scott Steiner goes up from behind, cheap shots him in the plums,
So
throws him into the throws him into the guardrail, and then walks out. Larry Zbyszko tries to come out to help. He gets cheap shotted by Scott.
Oh, shit.
Rick is taking a beating in the ring. He's already been pinned. Sting descends from the rafters into the ring. Double clotheslines, both Hall and Savage. Scott Steiner tries to get in the ring. Sting holds him off with the baseball bat.
Damn.
And stands over Rick Steiner. And then basically hooks a harness onto Rick. And then hooks him in, and they both go up to the rafters together.
Is that the main event?
That's the main event.
That's how you close
Interesting.
the show? That's sick as fuck.
Yeah.
The whole main event, I would give it a 5 out of 5. I thought the
Good job.
storyline, I like where it's going.
Yeah.
That was-
There's your story, motherfucker.
That was a good main event. That was good.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it.
And it had the WCW theatrics with Sting coming out, and it made Sting look cool. It was good.
Yeah.
Great ending, Doug.
All right.
All right, Alka-Seltzer. What?
Seltzer, what did you think of the show, and what would you give your big rating for the week? I got an 8. What does Doug get?
Other than the main event, it was an okay show. But the hook at the end I like, so I'll give it a 7 out of 5. I mean 7 out of 10.
7 out of 5. Pretty good. All right, so I beat Doug again by a whole point. Let's see if I can beat him in the numbers. That was a very good episode. Well, it's a very good ending to Nitro.
The ending to the Nitro bumped it up to a 7.
100,000 or 10 million, anywhere in between. How many people watched this iteration, the January 12th?
Yes.
January 12th episode of Nitro that Doug provided. Let's see.
So 4,079,166.
So 4.1.
Yeah.
So Doug he had a 2 million drop from last week, but he's still keeping the people and keeping the numbers and doing very well. So far, Raw is a critical darling, and Nitro is killing it in the numbers still. The war has not, changed in Raw's direction yet. It's actually getting much worse. But in the numbers, Nitro is keeping it solid and doing great shows. All the Saturday nights, the Thunders, and especially the Nitros, everything's doing good numbers. Nitro was still Doug's highest of both weeks out of all his shows. So he's doing very good numbers wise. Critic wise, he's doing pretty good. He's putting on good shows, but it seems that the filler isn't really adding up, and a lot of people or Seltzer isn't a huge fan of some of the mid-card stuff, whereas he seems to enjoy the storyline thread going out through Raw. So Raw is winning with the critics, and Nitro is winning with the numbers. So that is where we leave the war right now. This is a lot of fun, guys. This is one of my favorite episodes. I had a blast.
Yeah, definitely. This was a lot of fun. Great job, both of you.
Thank you so much.
I don't know if Nitro next week is going to help. I mean, I might get him on Saturday night in Thunder.
I'm sure you'll still get 9 million.
See,
fucking asshole.
Now, Doug, you know what I'm looking for.
Yeah, now you know what to do to appease the critics. So just give him Sting every match. But no, I
mean, it helped.
This was a lot of fun. I will be coming next week. I'm going to start with the Royal Rumble. So we're going right into a pay-per-view, get the buy rate off that, see what Eric thinks of it. I've spent a lot of time working on that show, so I'm excited. And then we got the rest of our episodes of Nitro and Raw, and Doug also has a Clash to get to.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing all that next week, and we'll see everybody next time.
Yeah.
Yep. Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow when tunes combine, 3 p.m. But that'll be the last time that we do a show that's not at 7 p.m. on a Saturday.
Me and Doug already talked about it.
Yeah. But tomorrow it's the Video Game League of the Cartoon Classic, Donkey Kong Country, Street Fighter, Pokemon, Super Mario Brothers Super Show. In the poll right now in Wrestling Through the Years of which wrestler do they like the best, Jake Roberts has 10 votes, Bret Hart has 7, Vader has 3, Sid Vicious has 2.
I still have to vote, so
it looks like it's going to come between Bret Hart and Jake the Snake, but that poll will run for a couple of days. We got a SmackDown to watch.
All right. We'll see everybody next time on Wrestling Through the Years. Thank you.
Later.
Tomorrow.
See ya.